up, and I think you'll enjoy it very, very much. A lot of celebrities, a lot of great stars, just a bunch of wonderful people. I don't think they'll want to be any dating contestants, though, but they're really great. So we'll be right back, and you stay tuned in.
Devonshire Manor Apartments. Suburban living at a reasonable cost. Near Belton Village at 5300 Fulton Drive Northwest. 1 and 2 bedrooms, $125 to $140. And they have all GE major appliances with air conditioning, carpet, recreational facilities, and carpeting too. They can be seen Monday through Thursday 9 to 9, Friday 9 to 6, Saturday 10 to 6, and Sunday 12 to 4. You can call them at 494-3655, and if there's no answer, call them at 492-5867. That's Devonshire Manor Apartments. Suburban living at a reasonable cost. This portion of the program is in part sponsored by Fred Whalen, 15 times Pacific Coast Pocket Billiards champion.
Check it out every day. Check it out for special things. Check it out the easy way.
For all your football rememberings, First National Bank of Canton has checks featuring the exclusive drawing of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Football fans throughout the area are showing pride in the Hall of Fame by using First National's Hall of Fame checks. They cost no more than regular checks, and they're available in both personal and business sizes. With every Hall of Fame check order, you also receive a free pass to visit the Hall of Fame. Use Hall of Fame checks from First National, the bank that believes together there's so much we can do. I think it's important to note that no Dream Date show if it weren't for something we call the Canton Football Hall of Fame. And I could go on and on down this list of the people who are in Canton for this weekend for that wonderful event. And we're fortunate enough to have some of those people on our show tonight. And here to tell you about it, once again, our host, Shirley.
Hello, and welcome back, everyone. This evening is a very special one. And before we get into the show, I would like to introduce one of the guests who knows all about every one of these sports figures. I'm sure you all know of him. He writes a column for the Cleveland Plain Dealer and is sportscaster at WINW. His name, I really shouldn't have given him an introduction because I don't think he needs any. It's Jaime Williams. Hello.
Shirley, it's really nice being here this evening, and you look resplendent. You're all ready for that Hall of Fame weekend.
Yes, I am a little bit.
And I gaze out into the audience there. We have a great cast of all-star celebrities from all walks of life in the world of sport, and so this should be a great 45 minutes.
I think so, too. I had you out here because I wanted you to help me introduce some of these people. I know some of them, but I don't know all of them. And with your help, knowing everyone, I don't think I'll have too much trouble.
Well, I'm sure as the time goes by that you're going to get to know all of them because they're pretty easy fellas to know.
Well, let's sit down, and I think that we're going to introduce a few at a time. One of the first ones, excuse my back, please. One of the first ones I want you to talk about is Bo Belinsky.
Well, Bo Belinsky is one of the great pitchers of baseball. Of course, we all remember Bo with the California Angels, and he did an outstanding job. And then he pitched for the Philadelphia Phils, and of course, the great no-hitter that he pitched during his career made Bo one of the most celebrated players in baseball. Of course, too, after hours, Bo was a pretty famous fellow along the Gray-White Way out in New York and all around the country. He was known as the escort of the very beautiful and blonde Mamie Van Doren. Of course, those days may be over for Bo, who is now married and a father. So let's introduce a man that all baseball America knows, a fella by the name of Bo Belinsky.
Hello.
Mrs. Menegay here, the very lovely lady, and Bo, it's good to see you again.
Daughter of a very famous man, right tonight.
Daughter of Don Willis, one of the great billiard players of America.
Yeah.
I understand you're quite a billiard player, too. some
Well,
nights.
I thought so until I met Don the first time. I met Don in '62 in Cleveland. And I'm very flattered to be here tonight with all these sports personalities. Really, it's a privilege for me and an honor. But tonight, I think I'm going to just talk about Don Willis and take my time up in talking about a man that I feel that everyone here is here tonight basically to pay tribute to an all-around sportsman, and not only an all-around sportsman, but a fine person, a very good human being. Let me tell you the first time I ever met Don Willis. Dean is always playing practical jokes on me.
We're talking about Dean Chance, the one-time Cy Young Award winner.
Well, he's always playing practical jokes. I thought I was a pretty good pocket billiard player, And I came into Cleveland in '62, and he said, Bo, he said, I got a little fat farmer that's a fish, and pool, that means a sucker. He says that you could take him, you could probably beat him 100 to 50 in straight pool, tournament playing.
That Dean Chance is your friend, too.
Yeah. So he introduces me to the short, little round guy, and I said, oh, it looks like he couldn't even bend over the table. He was a little out of shape at that time. Well, we went up to pool hall and started playing, and we started playing straight pool, and I ran 18 balls and played safe, a safety shot. Gave up the stick to Don, and 80 balls later, which he had run, I hung up my stick and said, Dean, I said, I don't care who this guy is. I said, you're never going to set me up with another match.
That's unusual for Don Willis. He usually lets you win the first game.
Well, this was a practical joke, and then I had the pleasure of him putting on it personally for me, one of the best trick shot exhibitions I've ever seen. And I feel we would be depriving the TV audience of not having them see some of Don Willis's trick shots, and I believe we have a tape.
Yes,
and
we
this
do.
is going to be a special privilege for the TV people right now, and this is just a sample, a mere sample of some of the greatness that Don has done.
Shirley, are we ready to run that now?
Yes, we're ready to run that now. I want you to see some of the shots. And by the way, this great man is my father.
That's my father.
He
Yes,
ain't
it
too
is.
BAD, I'll tell you.
Your stick's moving over here.
Sports fans, you're going to have a pleasure today. I know many of you, this will be the first time you've ever seen the great Don Willis perform some of his shots, which nobody in the world can do but Don, and you'll get to enjoy these shots along with me. The first thing Don will do, most people, when they rack the balls, they have to use a rack. Don, will you show the people how professional racks them? Okay. Now, Don's next shot is the lazy man's way to rack the cue balls. If we can find a rack here, we're in business. As you see, he's setting the rack up on the cue ball. With the one ball, that's the lazy man's way to rack it. Don's got a second way to rack the balls. Jumps up the middle one. His next shot, he will use the 1, 2, 3 ball, and he will make all 3 different balls with different shots with the same stroke.
Okay, the first time the 3 stays out, the other 2 go in.
The red ball will stay out, the 1 and 2 will go in.
This time the 1 stays out, the yellow, the middle ball stays out, the other 2 go in.
With the same stroke, the 1 ball, the middle ball will go in, the 2 and 3 will stay out.
This time, instead of the 1 staying out, the 1 will go in and the other 2 stay out. I believe. The 1 goes in and the other 2 stay out.
Not too bad as Don Willis, huh, Bo Belinsky?
No, that's not too BAD, I'll tell you. That's just for openers. Of course, he's got about 1,000 more. We could stay here for 2 days with his trick shots. But matter of fact, I'll tell you, let's just bring Don up here right now. I want everybody to see him personally. And like I say, I've always admired this man, and he's probably one of the most unsung sportsmen. All these personalities here, including me, You know, we got our names in the papers with the bronze,
I've been
especially
writing
me.
about
You know,
Don Willis for years.
this guy, you gotta know him personally to appreciate him, and he's probably the most unsung sportsman all around of all time. I want you to meet and have everybody meet Don Willis. Don, will you please come up here? You old huckster, you.
Oh, no, this is Shirley Menegay, your daughter.
Listen, Don, I'll tell you, you sort of had a little inkling tonight of what was going on, and Ike Elg. Ike, will you come up here, please? We have a little award from your friends and your admirers, and could you stand up, Don, please?
Sure will.
Because I wanna have the privilege of standing next to you on this. This is from your friends. It reads, in recognition...
Bo, I hate to interrupt you. I don't know if they can hear you or not out there, and I don't want to take a chance on them not hearing you.
Okay. Don, this is in recognition to Don Willis, July 27th, 1972, one of the greatest players of all time for poker billiards. He has defeated Ralph Greenleaf, of which people that maybe are not aware of Ralph Greenleaf, he's a Babe Ruth of poker billiards and everything else. William Asconi, who is what would be considered the moderate-day Hank Aaron, and Jimmy Moore. And this is from all your friends, including Joe Bolses, 4-time world champion, and me, Don. And this is only a small tribute to a great man and a great sportsman.
Thank you.
Well, Bo, we want to thank you for visiting with us, and
my pleasure.
certainly you're going to have a great weekend here in Canton. The town's alive and great enthusiasm.
I'm going to make this my
Well,
home.
is that right?
Needs new
Yeah,
matchmaker.
well, okay.
And of course, I got to stay close to my man.
right. He's a good man to stay with.
Father,
Father,
don't go
stay
away.
here, or, you know, you're getting away from the crowd.
You're not going to get off that easy.
He thinks he's going to get off easy, folks, but he's not.
One of Don Willis's great friends is a fellow who just made a remarkable comeback from a recent major surgery, and a man who is known in this Canton community as the outstanding fighter for juvenile delinquency. Of course, by now you know whom I mean. A fellow by the name of Sergeant Jack Babe Stern, an old friend of Don Willis's.
Howdy, Don.
Yes, as you know, okay,
See how good you look.
God, yes. How is it? Don, this is in recognition of many things that you have done also for the Police Boys Club. As you know, we've got several photos of you coming down to put on exhibitions, not only in pool, bowling, and also ping pong. This is in recognition of Don Willis, July the 27, 1972, defeated Jimmy McClure in 1933 when he was a table tennis champion of the world. This is from all your friends on this special night. And believe me, you have many friends in our community.
Thank you.
Well, Babe, how are you feeling?
Feeling a lot better. Got to get about another 12 pounds and I'll be back in shape again.
You got your Monday Night Baseball tournament going in the city, so that should make you happy.
Yes, as far as I got the people on the air, I might as well tell them to get out and watch that City Mighty Might Championships coming up. In fact, tonight, tomorrow night, so on.
Thank you very much, Babe Stern.
Thank you very much.
You know, Shirley, a long time ago when I was a lot younger than I am now, I covered a ball game in which I saw Northwestern High School of Wayne County, and they won a district baseball championship up here at North Canton Stadium. And the pitcher that day was a tall right-hander who could really blaze the ball across the plate. In fact, he pitched the Northwestern Huskies at the state baseball championship. And he came a long way in the baseball world, and finally one year, he won the Cy Young Award for his outstanding pitching performance. Of course, All-Star County knows who we're talking about, that very handsome fellow and still a mighty capable guy who gets around quite a bit, Mr. Dean Chance. I guess you know Don Willis a little bit.
Don, it's a pleasure to be here tonight with all these other sports celebrities who'll be coming on. And I'm only going to take a second. I've got this baseball. I know you've got a lot of friends, Boog Powell, and a lot of guys that's played professional baseball. And this is a little memo from us. It's to Don Willis, a great sportsman and a fine person from your friends in professional baseball. Don, congratulations.
Thank you.
Dean, don't go away yet.
If people want to look at you, Dean, you're a pretty handsome fellow, and I imagine our lady viewers want to take a good look at you.
It isn't just that I don't want him to go away. I want everybody to know how much help this man has given me, and I mean that literally. We both helped pull my father, but 2 days ago he found out about it. He didn't like it too much, but I think we're still going to pay a great tribute to him anyway. And I really did want to honor Dean, because Dean not only helped me on this portion of the show, but he helped get some of my bachelors for me, and I thought they were pretty great. And we do have another shot of my father, some billiard shots, and Dean narrated on these. There's some of the pool shots that Dean likes. And I shouldn't say pool because I was told to say billiards, and my father is a billiard champion. But I don't know anything about it, frankly. So, Dean, without further ado, would you like to say something else about the shots that you did the other day?
Well, yes. A couple years ago in '64, Don and me, we were going to go to Japan along with Bo Belinsky on our exhibitions. We shot all throughout the United States, and Don does have a few trick shots that nobody else in the world does, and you will have the treat of seeing these on over the screen tonight and live. One other thing I would like to say, there's probably nobody that I know of. Jim Thorpe played all different sports, but Don has beaten 3 different champions in 3 different sports, and I don't know if anybody else has done this. We've already mentioned 2 of them, and of course the third one, which will be a surprise, but it will be coming up later. So if you're ready to roll them, they're going to show them now?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
So I was playing him. I had it sewed up back here, and I made the 9 in there. So he told me how lucky I was. While he was failing me, of course. 9 ball in the corner. So I took the money.
Took the money, and the guy said he was lucky, I guess. Don, what are you going to make on this particular shot here?
We're trying to make the 8 ball. 8 ball. Let's see. I'll make it back here.
It looks pretty tough to me.
Well, we'll see what happens. Okay. There you go.
That's an impossible shot. Don, in the movie The Hustler, that one shot that was impossible, where the one ball was over here with the cue ball.
Oh, yeah? That's the opening shot?
Could you shoot that shot for us?
Well,
I know, I would like to see it.
I'll try it. It's a shot that Paul Newman's supposed to make.
Did Paul Newman shoot?
1,000 shots, Paul.
Did Paul Newman shoot that, or did?
He must have only shot all these shots. But this is a pretty hard shot. A legitimately tough shot.
The one ball in this pocket.
Yeah, that's the opening shot of the Hustler.
Would you show us another way you make that, if I get this particular shot?
Right here like this. Here's a shot of one way to make it.
I meant the other way.
Oh, another way. Yeah, well, I guess you could probably make it this way.
Very good.
I don't know, you. All right.
Okay, you ready? Don, on this particular shot here, I see the 8 ball in the middle of the table and the 10 ball and the cue ball. What are you going to try to do on this shot?
Dean, I'm going to make every ball on the table except the 8 from there, and the 8 never moves.
Well, what about the cue ball? Is it going to move?
Well, the cue ball, I'm going to shoot with a cue ball. I don't have to make that. I'm talking about all the balls on the table except the 8 and the cue ball. I might even make the cue ball.
I see he's got a little help with the rack here.
Well, we'll see what happens. You want the cue ball made, we'll make that too.
Well, he didn't lie. He did what he said. Don, what do we have for this shot here?
This shot here, you heard about all the football games lately and basketball games some years back being in the bag. Well, I'll show you how the pool is played in the bag. With the 8 ball in the side pocket.
Very good. It went in. Don, what do we got on this particular?
This ain't no shot. I just want to see how, this is to see how you're playing. I want to see how you're playing. You used to be a pool player. You and I played a lot of exhibitions together, but I think you slipped. I know you slipped a little bit in baseball. So, see this shot, Dean? Shoot him like that, and that's pretty easy. Let's see you do that, Dean.
Well, it shouldn't be too tough. Don went to a circus once, and he seen these guys juggling. What do we got here, Don?
Well, Dean, there used to be a fellow when I was a young man. He played billiards with the 3 balls, you know. So after it was all over, he'd give it some kind of stuff like this. I don't know what all he did, something like this. So I always went him one better when I played exhibitions when I was a boy. I put the chalk in with it.
Not too bad. Players, they like to shoot the balls when they're still, but Don, that's not enough challenge for him. So he likes to throw the ball and hit them while they're moving. He thinks it takes a little more ability.
This is the way you hunt ducks. Shoot them on the wing.
In the pool world, Don is considered the greatest wing shot man in the world.
Shirley, if you're a boxing fan, you've probably heard of Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, and George Foreman, a real contender. But soon, and possibly this year, you'll be hearing yet from Ernie Shavers, a man who has won 42 of 44 bouts. And Ernie is here to say hello to Don Willis.
Nice spending the night with you, Don. Help to celebrate this night with you.
Could you speak up? Excuse me for interrupting. Could you speak up just a little bit louder so they can hear you, Ernie? Thank you.
Don being a fine fight fan of mine, I would like to donate a pair of gloves to him, which I won the state title of Nevada with, knocking out Pat Duncan. And Don, they tell me you're pretty sharp on the boxing game. I'd like for you to run down the champ from John L. Sullivan all the way to Joe Frazier.
You don't want that now, do you?
No, you can give it to me later on. I haven't got time.
Thank you very much, Ernie. Best of luck to you, Don.
Thank you.
Okay, and there's a story around that Ernie Shavers will be fighting a big-time name in Canton's Memorial Auditorium soon. The best thing I can say about this next man, Don, is that he needs no introduction in this community, and that would be our old friend Bob Schreiber, who has an important announcement and presentation. Bob Schreiber.
I have a horseshoe here. It's supposed to be for luck, and this is the only guy I've ever met that doesn't need any. I'll say one thing for him, though. He discouraged me ever playing this game because I saw him in one horseshoe match, and every time the other guy threw a ringer, he threw one on top. And I think he quit the whole thing, too.
He was tough at horseshoes, too.
He was the best.
How about that?
But what's the use of keeping throwing wingers all day when the other guy throws them on top? Don, congratulations on your day, and it's nice to be with you.
Thank you, Bob. His brother Earl was supposed to be here tonight, but he's tied up with one of the big people in the business. Man from the new owner of the Rams, by the way. And he is so busy with the Hall of Fame activities, and he's attending another important dinner right now and couldn't make it tonight. And he's helped me quite a bit on the show also.
Surely, though his time was some years ago, old reliable Tommy Henrik is still a big name. Tommy? Tommy Henrik, the great outfield star of the New York Yankees.
Good to be with you. Let me sit down. What do you want me to say? I can talk this guy all night, but...
you might tell us one thing about Don Willis that stands out in your mind, Tommy.
Absolutely. Downtown, one night we were some real sports fans, and you cut in with a remark, and the guy next to you said, well, what right have you got to say anything around here? And Don says, well, I think that any fellow that has defeated 11 world champions in 3 different sports ought to be able to say something. You remember that? Yeah. I never forgot it, and that's the truth, too.
That Don Willis is quite a fellow.
Oh, he's one of the greatest guys I ever met in my life. One of the most sensational superlatives you can just rattle on and on about Don. Huh?
Don't put it on too strong.
I won't. That's what I think of you. And that's what everybody thinks of you. Got a lot of guys here, and they're all ready to say their piece, but I'll say this. This is a good night for you, and it's very well deserved, and you've done a beautiful thing here, I'll tell you that.
Thank you very much.
It's a big thing to get even here.
Right.
It was.
Make it.
You don't know how big of a thing it was to get him here.
And Shirley, all the way from California, is one of the great quarterbacks of all times in the National Football League. and a member of the Hall of Fame who was inducted several years ago, and that would be our old friend who's getting to be a real friend around here, a fella by the name of Bob Waterfield, formerly of the Los Angeles Rams. Bob Waterfield.
Bob, all the way.
Bob, it's nice to see you. Whoops, there's one he missed.
Those,
Pick that one up.
those are slippery. You know why it's slippery? If you would have played that way, it would have been too bad.
Oh, I did a lot of times against Marion Watley. Well, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and I can't say enough about Don Willis. Great athlete. Nobody knows about all the things that he's done, but I think I know quite a few of them. And if he learns to play pool, well, he may come out all right. No, but Don is a very fine friend of mine, and the things he's done in the past, we've been over, and all of the athletes here recognize what he has done, and he hasn't probably slipped in any of them.
No, I'd still hate to take him on at basketball. He knows how to throw that ball through the hoop. You'd be surprised. Even though he's not 7 feet tall, he still was a pretty good basketball player.
Well, he can do a lot of things, and here, if you can shoot this in a
That's an
side
official
pocket,
Hall of Fame
I'll
football.
think you're pretty good.
Okay.
Well, we hope that you have a great time here in Canton, as you always do,
Yeah.
and we'll see you around at some of the festivities.
Oh, I love it here, and I love the people.
And thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Bob. You know that my dad wouldn't have come on without you, and I'm so glad you came on. Thank you very much.
Of course, Stark County and the nation's football fans need no introduction to our next guest, a man who is also a Hall of Famer. Great fullback for the Cleveland Browns, and Paul Brown said perhaps the greatest fullback of all time. That would be your friend Don Willis, a man by the name of Marion Motley. Nice to see you. Have a warm seat. Follow Bob Waterfield. That's a good act to follow.
Well, following Bob, I followed him so long for a while playing against him, so maybe it's always best to get with him.
Right. That's right.
But being here with Don tonight is a real close friend of mine. I've always enjoyed his techniques of this game of billiards. I won't say pool. But again, I didn't know that he had done so many feats of defeating champions.
Yeah, he beats a lot of champions in any sports.
Yeah, so many that I didn't realize it. So I would like to say again, as a friend of Don's, I've very much enjoyed all of his trick shots, and I think we haven't seen them all as yet on the TV there. But again, if you see this one where the ball jump off the table, run down and hit another ball on the floor, that's really a feat.
That's doing pretty well. Well, Marion, we want to thank you for visiting on Don Willis tonight here, and we'll see you around at a lot of the Hall of Fame festivities this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Let's put this over. Shirley, another great star from the old Cleveland Brown days, was a fellow who's pretty popular in Stark County, and that would be our old friend Lynn Houston. And Lynn's brother Jim was a great star with the Cleveland Browns here, and still is, we hope. Well, nice to see you.
Jaime, I'm here and representing two people. You know, Earl Schreiber is with Carol Rosenblum. And
pretty important man, I imagine.
I'll say.
Yes,
Fellow the Los Angeles Rams.
This fellow just had that big deal completed, and I will read the letter that Earl gave me for Don. Dear Don, sorry I can't be with you tonight. For these many years, you have been a champion in my book and also a close friend. Happy to know, in some small way, your great talents are being recognized. Sincerely, Earl Schreiber. You know, I have a little story to tell about Don. I met him in 1955, and of all places, McBride's Restaurant on 12th Street in Canton, Ohio. And he has a fantastic memory. He did all the states and capitals backwards in order and won a big bet we had at the table.
He also knows all the Heisman Award winners. Don't ever try him out on that one.
Very good. Since I've known Don, he's done a lot of things for me, and I just am tickled that I'm part of this occasion where you're honoring one of the great men in this sport, or this all sports. When I first met him, I thought he might be one of those dumb guards like I was. but he turned out to be a real fine guy, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
those
very
kind
much.
words, and I guess you and Don may talk afterwards.
We'll see you. Sure will. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to
Hey, should you put this thing around me so I can...
have to hurry along a little bit. We're getting a little bit behind. Before we go on to our next guest, I do want to read something that was given to me from the mayor of Canton. Dear Mrs. Menegay, I regret that my heavy schedule makes it impossible for me to be with you this evening. However, I would like to join in paying tribute to your dad, Don Willis. Over the years, Don Willis has been a familiar name on the sports pages of the Canton Repository. On August 1st, 1926, the Repository reported that Don had emerged city playground champion on the horseshoe courts. During his career in professional billiards, he matched wits with such greats as Willie Moscone, Cicero Murphy, Jimmy Moore, Jim Karras, Ralph Greenleaf, Luther Lassiter, Irving Crane, U.J. Puckett, Knoxville Bear Taylor, Jack Bright, and Minnesota Fats. The name of Don Willis appears with these greats in a book on pro billiards, The Lions and the Lambs, by Thomas Finch. Don has been recognized as the greatest wing shot of all time and once performed this feat 42 straight times. A man of great versatility, Don is an accomplished juggler and in his younger days was a clever football, baseball, and basketball player, in addition to competing in table tennis and horseshoe pitching. His victims included world champions Jim McClure in ping pong and George May in horseshoes. A man with a wonderful memory, Don can name in order the 153 largest cities in the country and all the enshrinees in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He is a noted storyteller and does fantastic card tricks. Don has given a great deal of his life to the sports world, but he has still found time to be active in the Ex-Newsboys Association and aids many charities with pool exhibitions. I wish to join with the citizens of Canton in paying tribute to Don Willis, a living legend. May he enjoy many more years of health and prosperity. Sincerely, Stanley A. Kamick, Mayor of the City of Canton.
You know, Shirley, one of Don's great friends is the former Canton Police Chief, now Safety Director, Frank Bernowski. And Frank, here's your old friend, Don Willis.
Certainly nice to be here on this wonderful occasion for you, Don. I think our paths crossed some 40, 45 years ago. I've kept track of your activities down through the years, and you certainly are a credit to the city of Canton for your outstanding feats. And I could name them all. The mayor went ahead and named all of them. He took my speech here, so to speak. But certainly I talked to the mayor today, and he regretted very much he would be unable to be here on this occasion. And he certainly wants to extend his wishes and congratulations.
Frank, thank you for those kind words.
Thank you.
We'll see you later then. Here's probably the man who has served Don Willis 1,000 meals, a man who needs no introduction, the very handsome Nick Zanellis of Top Chalet. You never aged.
Thank you, Jaime. I don't know what to say that hasn't already been said, but I think about the best way to describe Don Willis is he's probably the guy that every kid wants to live next door to. He's the guy that can show them everything just a little bit better than the other guy. I found Don very, very difficult to know over the years, and primarily because he appears to be very unemotional. You look at him, you don't know if he's broke or sick. You have to put him on a scale to weigh him, and that's the only way you'll probably find out whether he's got $10, $10,000, whether he's sick or healthy. He's a beautiful man. I'm very happy to say he's my dear friend. Don, God bless you.
Great
I
words,
love you.
Nick Zanellis. And now another old friend,
Thank
Marv.
you, Nick. I just was thanking Nick. I love his Top Chalet. It's beautiful.
Marv Laughlin is an old friend, and he has a word to kind of wrap this show up here today. Marv, how are you?
Hi, Marv.
It'd be really a surprise for me to get up here. I'm not a sport of any kind, I guess. Just a good sport, but I'm a good friend of Don Willis's. I'm sure thankful to be here to congratulate him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shirley, our time, like all time, is just about vanished. I imagine that the guest of honor, your dad, Don Willis, might have a word or two.
Like that.
Well, I don't know what to say after all that. Just thanks anyway.
You're welcome. And before the evening's over, I want to bring Ike Ilg up here for just a moment. And while he's on his way up here, please let me read a couple more tributes to you. Best wishes to one of the best, Tim Triner, that has Tim's Tavern. This is from Joe Balzis, the pocket billiard professional world's champion right now. Dear Don, sorry that I couldn't make it in person for your big night. I would like to say that if anyone should receive an honor such as you are getting tonight, it has to be you. You have given so much of yourself to sports, especially to pocket billiards, which you play so profoundly well. Had you decided to play in tournaments, I'm sure your name would now be written into the record books. It was always a comfort to see your face at all the major tournaments, regardless of where they were being held. Also, I have thoroughly enjoyed watching you perform. Again, I say I'm very sorry that I cannot be there. You deserve everything being bestowed on you tonight.
Ike Ilg, known to everybody in Starr County. Ike, some words for Don Willis as the time wraps around. 30 seconds.
Don, I want to thank you for many hours of pleasure you've given us out to the lodge and the wonderful things you've done that I know of that other people don't know of.
Okay, and Shirley, I guess you should wrap it up.
I'll try to wrap it up, but boy, you've done a swell job for me tonight, and I really do appreciate it. All of you people for helping me do this, I think you're wonderful. I don't know of anything better to do for my dad. He's really a great guy, and I'm proud of my father. Please, write into Dream Date if you're interested, and if you're not, keep tuned to this station anyway. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
We hope you have enjoyed tonight's Dream Date as the beginning of TV 17's live coverage of Canton's Hall of Fame weekend. This program has been a Dick Smith, Carl Monday production for TV 17.
Shoppers Fair is having their cult...